You ever sit alone in your own mess and just feel the weight of everything you've been running from? I'm talking no noise, no phone, no distractions. Just you, your reflection, and the lies you've been telling yourself for years. That's when the cold truth starts creeping in. And let me tell you, it don't whisper sweet nothings, it shouts hard facts in your damn face. Most folks can't handle them, so they avoid it. They keep their calendars full, their bellies fuller, and their ears plugged with noise. Why, because the truth makes you uncomfortable. And we live in a world where people would rather be cozy in their failure than uncomfortable in their growth. I ain't saying this from some high mountain looking down. I was right there. I was that dude. I was 297 pounds, hiding in oversized shirts and fake smiles, acting like life was good. But deep down, I was broken. I couldn't run. I couldn't breathe. Hell, I couldn't even look in the mirror without feeling disgusted. And yet, I kept eating, kept lying, kept telling myself tomorrow would be different. It wasn't. Every day was the same nightmare on repeat. I'd wake up, hit the drive-thru, binge on sugar, watch other people live their dreams on TV, and convince myself I didn't have what it took. I was the king of excuses, man. I got a rough childhood. I don't have support. I not meant for greatness, blah, blah, blah. You name the excuse, I used it. Until one day something snapped. I saw a documentary on Navy SEALs. I watched them crawl through mud, shiver in the ocean, get screamed at by instructors, and still get up, still fight, still push. And that fire, it lit something in me. I looked at myself, really looked, and realized I wasn't just overweight. I was mentally soft, spiritually weak, and it made me sick. I had two options: keep dying slow or wake the hell up and take back my life. So I made a choice. Now don't get it twisted. That decision didn't come with some magical burst of energy. I didn't suddenly turn into a beast overnight. Nah, man, what came next was pain, suffering, straight up hell. But I finally knew that if I didn't do something drastic, I'd be dead in 5 years. Maybe not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, I was already a corpse. The cold truth is, nobody's coming to save you. There ain't no secret hack, no shortcut, no life coach with the perfect answer. You gotta look in the mirror and get brutally honest. You gotta say, I am not who I wanna be. And then, you gotta do something about it. That something ain't sexy. It's not a filtered Instagram post or a motivational quote. It's waking up at 4:30 a.m. when your whole body aches. It's running on legs that feel like cement. It's lifting when your arms are shot, studying when your brain's fried, pushing when everything in you says quit. Most people won't do it. They'll find a way out. They'll say, I'm too tired. I deserve a break. I've been through a lot. Yeah, so what? So has everyone else. Life ain't fair, and it doesn't owe you a damn thing. What separates the real from the fake is not talent. It's will. It's the ability to suffer with purpose. To keep going when it sucks, when you're scared, when you're alone. You think I wasn't scared? Every time I ran at night, I thought I'd pass out. Every time I stepped in that pool, I felt like I was drowning. Every book I cracked open reminded me of how dumb I felt in school. But I did it anyway, day in, day out. Because I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I wasn't looking for applause. I was trying to survive. I was trying to kill the weak version of myself and become the man I was meant to be. And it started with the truth. See, most folks are addicted to comfort. They don't want the truth, they want relief, they want validation. But validation don't change your life. Sweat does, sacrifice does, discipline does. You gotta fall in love with the process, with the grind, with the pain. You gotta wake up and chase hard things, not because they're fun, but because they're necessary. If you're broke, fat, lazy, depressed, whatever it is, you're not cursed. You're not doomed. You're just comfortable, and comfort is killing you. You want to change? Start suffering on purpose. Start choosing the hard path, not because you have to, but because that's where the growth is. That's where the power is. That's where the version of you that's been buried under excuses and fear finally gets to breathe. The cold truth? You either step up or you stay stuck. You either fight for your life or you let it rot away. Ain't no middle ground. You gotta get hungry. And I don't mean I skipped a meal hungry. I mean I'm willing to bleed for this hungry. I'll crawl through broken glass hungry. The kind of hunger that scares people. The kind of hunger that wakes you up and keeps you up. That's what it takes. That's what it took for me to go from 300 pounds to Navy SEAL. From nobody to somebody. From weak to relentless. It wasn't luck. It was pain. It was truth. It was day after day of choosing the hard way. And now I live for it. So if you're reading this and you're stuck, good. That means you've got a choice. You can either keep lying to yourself or you can stand up, own your SHT, and go to war. But just know this, the cold truth don't care about your tears. It only responds to action. Let's go. Let me break it down for you. Real raw, real clear. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You sitting around waiting on a rescue team? Hate to break it to you, but they ain't lost. They just ain't coming. And the sooner you get that through your head, the sooner you'll stop feeling sorry for yourself and start getting to work. See, most people spend their lives waiting for somebody to come along and change everything. They want their coach, their mama, their spouse, or some damn inspirational Instagram reel to show up and fix them. Ain't that what society teaches? If you just hang on long enough, things will get better. Nah, bro, that's a lie. It don't get better unless you get better. When I was sitting on my couch at nearly 300 pounds, eating Hostess donuts and sipping chocolate milkshakes, feeling like trash. You think I didn't wish somebody would show up? Hell yeah, I did. I used to pray, God, just give me a sign, send someone, anybody. But no one came. No trainer knocked on my door. No mentor slid into my DMs. No magical Navy SEAL recruiter showed up saying, hey Goggins, we've been looking for you. That's not how life works, and deep down, you know it. People always ask me, what changed you? And the truth is, I got tired of waiting. I got tired of being a victim in my own damn life. I was looking around, blaming everybody and everything. My abusive childhood, my days, my weight, my jaw, my bad luck. But one day I looked in the mirror and realized I was the common denominator in all that mess. It wasn't them. It was me. You hear that, and your first instinct is to get mad. What you mean it's my fault, Goggins? You don't know what I've been through. Yeah, I do. I know exactly what pain looks like. I know what it feels like to be scared, broke, fat, and ashamed. But I also know what it feels like to stop making excuses and take control. And that's what this chapter is about. It's about ownership. Because as long as you keep waiting on someone else to fix your life, you'll stay exactly where you are, drowning in the same bullshit you've been complaining about for years. Let me ask you something. How long you gonna keep hitting the snooze button on your potential? You wake up tired, mad at the world, hating your job, hating your body, hating your circumstances, and still you don't do nothing. You say, tomorrow I'll start. Then tomorrow comes and you say the same thing. Week turns to month, month turns to years. You blink and you're in the same spot you were 5 years ago. Maybe worse. Why? Because you thought somebody was coming. You thought help was on the way. Let me save you some time. It's not. No one's gonna force you to eat right. No one's gonna drag you out of bed at 4:30 a.m. to run. No one's gonna slap that donut out of your hand. No one's gonna make you open that book, build that business, apply for that dream job, or turn your damn life around. That's on you. The world owes you nothing. Life ain't fair, but that don't mean you stay down. It means you fight harder. I remember when I was trying to get into the SEALs. Every recruiter told me no. They laughed in my face, called me crazy, said I'd never make it, said I was too fat, too slow, too dumb. You think that stopped me? Hell no. I called every office across the country until I found one dude, just one, who said, if you drop the weight and pass the test, we'll talk. That's all I needed. A window, a sliver of a chance. And I ran with it like my life depended on it, because it did. I dropped 106 pounds in less than 3 months. I studied for the ASVAB like it was a matter of life and death. I trained harder than I ever thought possible. I didn't ask for help. I didn't wait for motivation. I just got up, showed up, and suffered through it. Every single day. Why? Because I knew what was on the other side. Freedom, confidence, discipline, purpose. That's what's at stake for you too. But you'll never get there if you keep waiting on someone to do the work for you. You gotta stop wishing and start working. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Ain't no one feeling sorry for you. This world is filled with hungry, driven people who want it more than you. And while you're sitting around dreaming about a better life, they're out there building one. You got two choices. Be one of them or be one of the forgotten. And don't get it twisted. This ain't about being the best. It's about being your best. Being the person you were meant to be before fear, comfort, and laziness took over. And if you're already deep in the hole, good. That's where real change begins. In the pain, in the suffering, in the moment you realize, I gotta save myself. So here's what you do. You wake up tomorrow and you make that ST personal. You look at your goals and say, no one's gonna chase these but me. You lace up your shoes and you go to war. Not against the world, not against your haters, against the weak version of you that's been running the show for too damn long. Kill him, burn him out of your life, replace him with a savage, because no one's coming and you already wasted enough time waiting. Now get your ass up and go become the hero you've been waiting on. Let's get one thing straight. Comfort is a damn liar. It promises you peace, but delivers weakness. It tells you everything's fine while it slowly kills your dreams. Comfort don't just ruin potential, it haunts your soul. People don't talk about that part. They talk about failure, rejection, fear. But the real enemy, it's comfort, because it sneaks in soft, wrapped in excuses. Take a break. You've earned it. Don't push too hard. It's the voice that tells you to sleep in, skip the workout, order the junk, blow off the hard SHT, and the more you listen, the softer you get. You don't notice it at first. A missed run here, a skipped session there. I'll make it up tomorrow. But tomorrow don't show up. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Next thing you know, you're sitting on the couch looking at old photos of the person you used to be, wondering where the hell it all went wrong. That was me. Back when I weighed damn near 300 pounds, I was living in straight up comfort. I had the apartment, the food, the couch, the lies. I wrapped myself in all of it like a blanket. It was warm, easy, numbing. But every time I looked in the mirror, I knew I was dying inside. I wasn't living, I was coasting. I had no edge, no fire, no purpose. Just sugar, TV, and a silent scream I buried deep down every time life reminded me I was wasting it. That's what comfort does. It don't just make you lazy, it kills your urgency. And when your urgency dies, your future does too. See, we weren't built to be cozy. We were built to suffer, to overcome, to conquer. You go back to our roots. Our ancestors weren't laying in bed scrolling social media. They were hunting, building, fighting. Survival was the game and weakness got you killed. Nowadays, weakness gets you likes. Laziness gets labeled as self-care. Everybody's trying to feel good, but no one's trying to be good. Nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to suffer. And that's why most people never change. When I hit my low point, I knew I needed pain. I needed the struggle. I had to make myself suffer on purpose, because the alternative, living numb and ashamed, was way worse. So I started doing what I hated, running when I couldn't breathe, lifting when I was sore, studying when I was tired, swimming in cold-ass water until my body was numb. And not because it felt good, because it reminded me I was alive. It reminded me I still had a fight in me. You want to grow? Then get uncomfortable. And I'm not talking about taking a cold shower or reading a book. I mean real discomfort. The kind that makes you doubt yourself. The kind that breaks you down, strips away your excuses, and shows you who the hell you really are. You think growth happens in comfort? Hell no. Growth lives in early mornings when your body begs you to stay in bed, but you get up anyway, Growth lives in late nights when your friends are out partying and you're grinding alone. Growth is that sixth mile when your legs are screaming, but your mind says one more. And yeah, it hurts. It's supposed to. That pain, that's the currency of transformation. Every drop of sweat, every sore muscle, every moment you want to quit but don't, that's your down payment on the life you want. But most people can't handle that. They feel a little discomfort and they run right back to easy. They run back to food, sleep, dopamine, whatever numbs the pain fastest. That's the cycle, and it's killing people. Slowly, silently. You want to break it? You got to flip the script. You got to rewire your brain to seek discomfort, to crave it, to chase it like it's your only shot at redemption. You got to start associating pain with progress, suffering with strength. And every time you feel that itch to quit, you dig deeper. Because the truth is, the version of you that lives in comfort, that version's a damn ghost. It's a watered-down, weak-ass shadow of who you're supposed to be. You want to meet the real you? Go suffer. Go hurt. Go through some HT. Not once, not twice, every day. That's how you find out what you're made of. People see what I do now, running 200-mile races, pulling off insane workouts, speaking in front of crowds. And they say, Goggins, you're built different. Nah, I'm built from pain, built from years of doing what sucks, built from refusing to let comfort dictate my destiny. I still don't like it. That's the crazy part. I still hate running, still hate the cold, still hate swimming in pools that feel like ice. But I love what it gives me. It gives me power, control, identity. It reminds me that I'm no longer that fat, scared, lazy kid waiting for life to get better. I made life better. So let me ask you, what's comfort costing you? Your fitness, your focus, your future. Every time you hit snooze, eat that extra slice, skip that workout, back out of the hard stuff, you're making a choice. A choice to stay the same, a choice to stay soft. And deep down, you know it. So here's the mission. Wake up tomorrow and run straight into the suck. Don't avoid it, don't resist it. Own it, live in it. Make pain your roommate and discipline your best friend. Because the moment you stop fearing discomfort, that's the moment you start building a life worth fighting for. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was, everybody would do it. But guess what? You ain't everybody. Let me tell you something straight from the gut. The mirror don't lie. You can fake a smile. You can flex for the gram. You can talk tough to your homies, act like you got it all together, but when it's just you in that mirror, it's a truth teller, bro. Stone cold, brutal, honest, and you can't run from that. You can post all the motivational quotes you want. You can wear tight shirts to hide the flab. You can walk like you got confidence. But at the end of the day, when the lights are off and it's just you standing there, ain't no filters, ain't no edits, ain't no hype man, just your reflection, staring back saying, this is what you've built. I remember the first time I really stood in front of the mirror and looked, not glanced, not checked my teeth, not brushed past it. I mean, looked. And what I saw wasn't a man, wasn't a warrior, wasn't a fighter. It was a broken, bloated, scared version of somebody who used to give a damn. I had let myself go, physically, mentally, spiritually. I saw the weight hanging off me. I saw the weak shoulders, the soft gut, the dead eyes. And what hurt the most wasn't the body. It was what the body represented. It was a symbol of every excuse I ever made, every workout I skipped, every time I said, I'll start tomorrow, every time I chose easy over effort, comfort over change. That mirror didn't show fat, it showed truth. Most folks avoid that kind of truth. They don't want to face it, so they turn away, they dim the lights, they distract themselves, they scroll their phones, they lie to themselves so they don't have to deal with the shame. But guess what? That shame don't go away. It sits there waiting, like an unpaid bill. And the longer you avoid it, the bigger the cost becomes. You want to know why you feel stuck? Why you feel empty even though you got a car, maybe even a family? It's because you don't respect the man in the mirror. You walk past him every damn day, and you know, deep down, you ain't doing what you're capable of. I'm not talking about money or clout. I'm talking about effort, discipline, integrity. Are you keeping your promises to yourself? Are you getting up when the alarm goes off? Are you putting in that work when nobody's watching? Or are you just coasting, hoping life don't expose you? That's why the mirror hurts. Because it don't show potential. It shows performance. It shows the results of your choices. And if you don't like what you see, you got two options. You can run from it again, or you can face it, own it, and fix it. And I'll be real, owning it hurts. When I finally owned my reflection, it broke me. I dropped to the floor and cried. I didn't just cry because I was fat. I cried because I let myself become someone I promised I'd never be. A quitter, a faker, a coward. But that breakdown, that's where the rebuild begins. You can't change what you don't confront. That mirror moment, that's where you stop lying and start building. You don't need fancy plans. You don't need to announce it on social media. You just need to show up, day after day, and earn back your own damn respect. You want to love yourself? Then do shit worth loving. You want to walk tall? Then stack wins when nobody's watching. You want to feel proud? Then do hard things even when you're scared, tired, or full of doubt. It ain't about perfection, it's about progression, about effort, about not letting that reflection stay the same. You want to look in the mirror and see a beast? Then you better act like one. You better suffer. You better grind. You better embrace every ounce of pain, because pain is what carves character. Pain is what turns that soft, broken version of you into a hardened, disciplined savage. Every time I trained, when I ran in the cold, swam with cramps, lifted when my body screamed, I wasn't just changing my body, I was rewriting my reflection. I was building someone I could respect, someone I could trust, someone who showed up no matter what. And let me tell you, there is no better feeling in this world than looking in the mirror and saying, I built that. Not just the body, but the mindset, the soul, the resilience. The man in the mirror, he don't ask for permission. He don't make excuses. He don't need applause. He just works, bleeds, grows, and walks tall. But you got to earn him. You earn him in the darkness, when nobody's watching, when you feel like quitting, when that voice in your head says, this is too bum, that's when the real work starts. And the reward? It ain't money, it ain't fame. It's being able to look yourself in the eye and say, I didn't give up, I didn't fold, I didn't let the soft life win. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, get up, strip down, stand in front of that mirror, look hard, look deep, don't flinch, don't flex, just face what's real. Then make a vow to yourself, not to the world. Say, from this moment on, I will not lie to myself again. I will not run. I will not quit. And then, back it up, earn it every damn day. Because at the end of the day, you can fool the world. But the mirror, that bastard never lies. Here's what most folks don't want to hear. Pain is the path, not the obstacle, not the punishment. It's the damn blueprint. You avoid it, you avoid growth. You run from it, you run from the life you're supposed to live. Let me keep it real. We live in a world that's obsessed with comfort. Heated seats, same-day shipping, 10-minute abs, therapy dogs for stress, because somebody looked at you wrong. We're raising people to believe pain is the enemy, that it should be eliminated, numbed, avoided. Bullshit. Pain is the truth. Pain is the test. Pain is the gift that tells you, yo, you alive. It's the only real teacher in a world full of fake motivation, soft talk, and watered-down success stories. You ever felt real pain? Not the paper cut type. I'm talking that I want to give up on life pain, that my legs are on fire and I still got 3 miles left pain, that nobody believes in me and I'm all alone pain. Yeah, that pain, that's the one that forges warriors. When I was training for the SEALs, every single day was pain. My knees were jacked up. My shins were torn up from miles of pavement. My back ached from the weight of regret. My mind? My mind was screaming at me to quit every hour, every minute. But I didn't. Not because I liked it. Hell no. I hated every second of it. But I understood something most people miss. Pain is part of the process. It ain't a glitch. It's the grind. And you don't get to be great without it. You want to lose 100 pounds? You're going to be hungry. You're going to hurt. You're going to cry. You're going to limp. You're going to have days when you can barely breathe, days when you question your sanity, and nights when you pray for rest that won't come. But you push anyway. That's what separates the real from the fake. The fakes want results without sacrifice. They want the muscles without the reps, the wins without the losses, the rewards without the work. And guess what? That ain't how this S-Jot works. You gotta bleed for this. You gotta suffer. You gotta embrace the suck with open arms and a sick smile that says, this is where I live. Pain ain't optional, it's required. People ask me, Goggins, how do you keep going when it hurts that bad? I tell them I stopped expecting it to be easy. I stopped praying for relief and started praying for resilience. I stopped asking, why me? And started saying, try me. That flip, that mental switch, that's what changed everything. You see, when you stop resisting pain and start welcoming it, you take away its power. You make it your ally, and eventually pain stops being the thing you fear and starts being the thing that fuels you. But you gotta earn that. You gotta earn that mindset through repetition, through reps, through long days, sleepless nights, and lonely battles that no one sees and no one claps for. You gotta be willing to break down just so you can rebuild stronger. When I was dropping that weight to qualify for buds, every morning was pain. I was starving, I was sore, I was depressed. My wife left, my life was falling apart, and the only thing I had was that inner voice telling me, don't you dare stop. And I didn't. I put on them boots. I laced them up. I ran with bloody feet and swollen knees. I studied until my eyes burned. I trained till I collapsed. Because I knew this pain has a purpose. Without that pain, I never would have become the man I am now. People think discipline is just about showing up. Nah, discipline is how you show up in pain. It's how you act when you're broken, exhausted, pissed off, and still moving. That's discipline. That's what greatness is built on. Every mile I ran in agony was a brick in the foundation of who I am. Every rep I lifted through tears, every lap I swam with cramps, every moment I wanted to quit but didn't. That's what gave me strength. Not the easy days, not the rest days, the painful days. That's where the power is. You gotta get that through your head. Your transformation will not be painless. It will not be clean. It will not be Instagram worthy. It will be bloody, sweaty, brutal, and it will be the best thing that ever happened to you. Because pain sharpens, pain clarifies, pain strips away the bullshit and shows you exactly who you are and what you're made of. You don't become unstoppable without first being broken, and you don't become a savage by sitting around waiting for motivation. You become a savage when you lean into pain like it's your training partner and say, let's go another round. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever weight you're trying to lose, addiction you're trying to beat, dream you're chasing that feels too far, you better get used to pain. You better invite it to dinner. You better learn to smile through it, because the day you decide to walk through pain instead of around it, that's the day you become dangerous. And once you become dangerous, ain't nothing can stop you. Let me hit you with it straight. You've got too many damn excuses. Every time life gets a little tough, you fall back on some reason why you can't get it done. I'm too tired. I got kids. I don't have time. I've been through a lot. Yeah, you and everybody else. Welcome to the club. But here's the thing, excuses might sound valid. They might feel real. Hell, they might even get you sympathy. But they don't get you results. They don't get you respect. They don't build greatness. All they do is keep you right where you are, stuck, average, and you know it. I used to be the king of excuses. I had a rough childhood, grew up in an abusive home. I was overweight, learning disabled, broken, and bitter. Every time I tried and failed, I'd fall back on one of those excuses like a safety net. And for a while they worked. People let me off the hook. They said, "You've been through a lot, Goggins. Take it easy." And I took that as permission to stay weak, to stay lazy, to keep eating junk, sleeping in, and doing the bare minimum to survive. But one day I realized something. My excuses were killing me. Not just my body, my spirit, my soul. Every time I leaned on an excuse, I robbed myself of progress. I was giving away my power, and I was letting life beat me without even throwing a punch. So I made a decision. No more excuses. From that day forward, every excuse that popped up in my mind, I shut it down. I didn't reason with it. I didn't debate it. I killed it. Cold, ruthless, like it was the enemy. Because it was, and it still is. See, your excuses come dressed up real nice. They sound logical. You need rest. You're not ready. You've done enough. But those voices, that's weakness talking. That's the soft version of you trying to keep you safe, keep you lazy, keep you small. You want to be great? You better learn to silence that voice. You better replace "I can't" with "watch me." You better turn "I'm tired" into "I'm still going." You better take "I don't feel like it" and bury it under 10 miles of pain and discipline. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm saying it's necessary. Every time I laced up my shoes at 4:30 in the morning when it was 20 degrees outside, my mind gave me 1,000 excuses not to. Sleep a little longer. You need a rest day. Your knees hurt. But guess what? I laced up anyway. I ran anyway. I showed up anyway, because that's what killers do. They don't negotiate with excuses. They execute the mission. You don't want to work out because you're tired. So what? You think the enemy gives a damn if a Navy SEAL's tired in combat? You think life cares about your fatigue? Nah, life hits you whether you're rested or not. So train tired. You don't want to study it because it's hard? Too bad. Success don't care about your mental blocks. Read the damn book. You don't feel like going to therapy, getting in shape, cutting that toxic friend? Good. That means it's probably exactly what you need to do. Discipline ain't doing what's easy, it's doing what's right, especially when it's hard. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying your excuses are not rooted in truth. Some of them probably are. Maybe you did grow up broke. Maybe you do have kids. Maybe you got trauma. I ain't taking that away from you. But I am saying this. Don't let that be the end of your story. Your trauma doesn't make you special. How you respond to it does. You want to honor your struggle? Get stronger because of it. Yaz it. Turn that excuse into ammo. Let your pain be the reason you go harder, not the reason you stay soft. Every excuse you make is a brick in the wall between you and your potential. You can keep stacking bricks, or you can start knocking them down with action. I chose to break them. When I got rejected from the military for being overweight, I didn't go home and cry. I didn't blame the system. I hit the streets, ran till my legs gave out, ate tuna and rice, studied like my future depended on it, because it did. And you know what happened? I killed the excuse. And in its place, I built confidence. Every time you kill an excuse, you take back a piece of yourself. You build pride. You stack self-respect. You start to trust that when shit gets hard, you don't fold. That's what this game is about. Not looking good, not sounding smart, not fooling the crowd. It's about winning the war inside. It's about doing what you said you'd do no matter how you feel. It's about showing up when no one claps, no one sees, no one helps. It's about being the kind of person who gets it done anyway. So today I want you to take a look at your top excuse, the one that's been running your life. The one you fall back on every time things get tough. Write it down. Now crumple that shit up and burn it. Metaphorically or literally, I don't care. But kill it right here, right now. Then go do the exact thing it said you couldn't. Run that mile, lift that weight, read that book, have that conversation. Start that business, because you don't need a new plan. You need a new mindset. And it starts with zero tolerance for excuses. No pity, no whining, no shortcuts. Kill that excuse and take back your life. Let me introduce you to your worst enemy, the quitting mind. You know it. I know it. We all got it. That voice in your head that shows up when things start getting hard, when the pain kicks in, when you're tired, sore, scared, or just sick of grinding. That voice don't come in loud. It don't yell at first. It whispers, take a break. You've done enough. This isn't worth it. But that whisper, that shit's poison. Because if you let it speak too long, it grows louder, starts making sense, starts sounding like truth, starts convincing you to pack it in. Walk away, quit, and once you let it win, you train it to come back faster next time. The quitting mind is sneaky. It ain't gonna argue with you in the middle of a good day. It waits. It shows up when you're already beat down, when you're vulnerable, when the workout's halfway done, when the project's almost finished, when the relationship's worth saving, but you're exhausted. That's when it says, man, just let it go. You ain't built for this. And that's the moment. You either fight back or you fold. See, most people live their whole lives listening to that voice. They've been quitters so long they don't even realize it. They walk away from everything uncomfortable, every hard conversation, every failed goal, every long road, left behind, incomplete, unfinished. And every time you quit, you don't just walk away from a goal, you walk away from a piece of your damn self. That's what the quitting mind takes. It ain't just the marathon you didn't finish or the business you didn't launch. It's your confidence, your pride, your belief in who you are. When I was in Navy SEAL training, that voice was loud. Hell week, it screamed in my head. You're cold. You're broken. You're behind. You'll never make it. And I'll be honest, I wanted to quit. I thought about it every damn minute, but I didn't. Why? Because I knew if I let that voice win once, it'd never stop. It would chase me into every chapter of my life, every room, every mirror, every mile. It would follow me till the day I died, reminding me, you had a shot and you blew it. And I wasn't going to live with that. So I told the quitting mind, fuck you, we're not done. You got to learn to do the same. That voice is always going to be there. You can't erase it, but you can choke it out with action. You can drown it with discipline. You can bury it under so much repetition that it don't even get a say. You want to know the difference between a savage and a sucker? The savage hears the same voice, but don't listen. The savage is tired too, scared too, doubting themselves too, but they keep going. One more rep, one more page, one more mile. That's the difference. And don't get it twisted. This ain't about never having doubts. It's about how you respond to those doubts. When your mind tells you to quit, you don't argue, you override it. Like a machine, you say, copy that, and keep moving. Pain in the knees, still moving. Burn in the lungs, still moving. Ain't feeling it today, still fucking moving. Because the moment you stop is the moment you train your brain that quitting is acceptable. And once that door's open, it's real hard to shut. So what do? You reprogram yourself. Every time you push through, you build mental muscle. Every time you override the quit button, you install belief. And eventually your default mode becomes resilience, becomes grind, becomes savage. You got to build your own firewall against weakness. You got to make it non-negotiable, not optional, not I'll see how I feel. You wake up and you execute, no matter what. Not because it's easy, but because you made a damn decision. Let me tell you something. The quitting mind is always looking for cracks. Any excuse will do. You tired? Boom. It shows up. You injured? Boom. It speaks louder. You get embarrassed, rejected, exposed. Boom. It kicks the door wide open. That's why you gotta be solid, fortified. Your mission? Build a mindset that don't flinch, that don't beg for motivation, that don't stop just 'cause it hurts. You build that by doing hard shit on purpose. Go run when you don't want to. Study when you're exhausted. Finish the project when nobody's watching. Do the dishes, fold the clothes, hit the cold shower. Stack discomfort, own routine. Beat your feelings. Because every time you do, you quiet that quitting voice. And the more you do it, the quieter it gets. Until eventually that voice tries to show up, and you don't even hear it anymore. All you hear is keep going. That's when you know you're dangerous. That's when you know your mind is bulletproof. So look, next time that quitting mind creeps in, you do this. Stop, breathe, and smile. Why? Because that voice showing up means you're in the right place. It means you're pushing. It means you're growing. And it means it's time to double down, not back down. Let that voice be the starting gun, not the finish line. Let it fire you up, not shut you down. Let it know you ain't scared of pain. You ain't scared of the long road. You ain't scared of failure. You're scared of quitting, and that's why you never will. You hear me? Never fucking quit. Let me tell you the truth most people don't want to hear. Your life sucks because your routine sucks. That's it. Ain't no mystery. Ain't no conspiracy. It ain't about bad luck or bad breaks. It's your damn routine. You wake up late, check your phone first thing, eat some sugary trash for breakfast, drag your ass through a half-hearted day, waste your night binging shows and wonder why you feel like shit, why you're stuck, why you ain't winning. It's because you're living like a civilian when you should be building like a savage. You think greatness happens by accident? You think Navy SEALs wake up when they feel like it? You think elite athletes train only when it's convenient? Nah, man. Greatness is built on discipline, on structure, on repetition, on showing up, whether you feel like it or not. And if your daily schedule is built around feeling good, you already lost. Let me break it down. When I was transforming my life, dropping 106 pounds, training for SEALs, studying for the ASVAB, working a full-time job, I had zero time to waste. I couldn't afford to drift. I couldn't wake up and just see how I felt. I had to dominate every second of my damn day. So I built a routine that made weak men tap out. Up at 4:30 a.m., stationary bike for 2 hours while studying, straight to the pool, 2-hour swim, then the gym, high reps, high pain, no breaks. Back to the bike for 2 more hours. Dinner, 1 piece of grilled chicken and some greens. No desserts, no cheat days, then 2 more hours on the bike. That was every single day. No weekends off, no excuses. Why? Because I wasn't trying to live. I was trying to resurrect. You don't get results from a maybe I'll try schedule. You get results from a savage-ass routine that don't flinch, don't bend, and don't make room for bullshit. You want to change your life? Change your damn schedule. Get up early, train hard, study daily, cut distractions, eat clean, repeat. That's the formula. But Goggins, I got kids. So did I, but I work long hours. So did I, but I'm tired. We're all tired. You don't get a trophy for complaining. You get one for outworking everyone in spite of the shit that's stacked against you. You want to know what separates elite performers from average ones? It ain't talent, it's routine. Average people react to life. High performers own it. They wake up with a mission. They don't check their phone, they check their mindset. They don't scroll, they sweat. They don't waste time, they weaponize it. Your routine should be so dialed in that people look at you and say, damn, you're obsessed. Good. Be obsessed. Be disciplined. Be consistent. Be relentless. And stop negotiating with your goals. Ain't no I'll do it later. Ain't no I'm too tired tonight. It's did you do it or not? That's the only question that matters. Now, I ain't saying you got to do exactly what I did, but I am saying this. Your routine needs to hurt. It needs to be inconvenient. It needs to stretch you till you don't recognize the soft version of yourself anymore. Because that soft version, he's the one that made your life a mess in the first place. Burn him. You want a better body? Then your routine better include cardio, weights, and real food. You want a sharper mind? Then your routine better include books, journaling, meditation, and hard conversations. You want a stronger soul? Then your routine better include suffering on purpose. Cold showers, long runs, dead silence, face-to-face with your demons. It's not enough to grind sometimes. You gotta grind all the time. Your goals don't give a shit about your feelings. Neither does success, neither does that scale, or that bank account, or that exam, or that mirror. The only language they understand is action, and your routine is your translator. You show me your calendar, I'll tell you your future. If your schedule's filled with the bullshit, don't expect to wake up in 6 months and see a savage. You'll still be fightin, still making excuses, still scrolling, still broke-minded, and broken-spirited. So here's the blueprint. Step 1, wake up early, not 8 a.m., not 7 a.m. I'm talking beat the sun up, dominate the morning before it dominates you. Step 2, move your body, sweat, hurt, breathe heavy, remind your flesh who's boss. Step 3, feed your mind. Read something real, something painful, something that makes you think, not just feel good. Step 4, prioritize. What's the one thing today that will move your life forward? Do that shit first. Step 5, end your day with gratitude, but not comfort. Write your wins, reflect on the pain, then prep for the next round. Repeat, daily, without fail. And guess what? There'll be days you fall off, days you skip, days you don't feel like doing shit. That's where the difference is made. Winners restart, losers wait for Monday. You fall off? Cool. Stand up, get back to the routine. Same time, same rules. No mercy, because your life ain't gonna change on motivation. It's gonna change on discipline, on schedule, on habits that make no damn sense to the average person. But you ain't average. You're trying to become uncommon, untouchable, unbreakable. And that takes structure. That takes obsession. That takes routine that would make most people cry. So write it down, post it up, live by it, build a routine that scares your excuses and proves to yourself every damn day that you ain't who you used to be. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Your weakness ain't a curse. It's your fucking weapon. That thing you're hiding, that pain you avoiding, that fear you keep running from, that's where your power lives. But most people, they too scared to face it, too soft to deal with it, so they keep pretending like it don't exist. Big mistake. See, everybody's got weaknesses. I don't care who you are, Navy SEAL, CEO, athlete, pastor, mother, whatever. You got a crack in your armor. But what separates the warriors from the wannabes is this. Warriors lean into that weakness. They study it, work on it, bleed for it, till it becomes a damn strength. I didn't come out the womb hard. I was the softest dude in the room. Couldn't swim, had a stutter, was overweight, insecure, abused. I was scared of everything, my past, my future, failure, pain, rejection. Life itself, I couldn't even look people in the eye without feeling like trash. That's real. But the game changed the day I stopped running from that shit. When I turned around, looked my weakness dead in the face and said, let's fight. And the first fight was against my own mind. You know how many years I spent running from my insecurities? Covering them up with fake confidence, fake toughness, fake smiles. You know how many miles I ran before I realized I wasn't running to get stronger. I was running to escape who I was. Then it hit me. You can't outrun what you refuse to face, so I stopped. I stood still, and I faced the truth. I was broken. I was soft. I was full of fear. And no workout, no badge, no title was gonna fix that until I owned it. That's the key. Own your weakness. Not to wallow in it, not to cry about it, to expose it, study it, attack it, and weaponize it. You scared of rejection? Cool. Start putting yourself out there every day till you're numb to no. You suck at discipline? Awesome. Make a plan so tight and rigid it forces you to lock in. You bad at running? Good. Run so much you scare the damn pavement. You out of shape? Perfect. That's your fire. Let every extra pound piss you off until you earn your body back. Whatever your weakness is, don't hide it, hunt it. Make it your target every single day. People think confidence comes from being good at shit. Nah, Confidence comes from getting good at what you used to be bad at. It comes from doing what you once thought was impossible over and over till it becomes routine. When I first started training for the military, I couldn't even swim a lap without gasping for air. I was embarrassed as hell. I avoided water like the plague. But guess what? The SEALs, they live in the water. That fear had to die. So I drowned myself in that pool every damn day. Cussed, panicked, sunk, gagged. But I came back the next day, and the next, and the next. Till one day I was gliding through that water like it was my home. That's what it takes. And I ain't saying the weakness ever fully leaves, it don't. But it changes shape, it becomes fuel, it becomes fire. It becomes the thing you reach for when everything else burns out. You want to be different? Then do different. Stop avoiding the stuff that makes you uncomfortable and start embracing it. That's where your evolution lives. Not in the areas where you shine, but in the shadows where you hide. You got to be real with yourself. You got to say, yo, I suck at this, but I'm going to be great at it. Watch me. And then you grind. You grind like your life depends on it, because it does. You grind like someone's watching, even when they're not. You grind like every weakness is a challenge to be conquered, not a sentence to suffer under. And let me tell you, once you start attacking your weaknesses like that, the game changes. You walk different, talk different, think different, because now you know the truth. You ain't just good at what's easy, you're good at what used to own you, and that's real power. That's the kind of power nobody can take from you. That's the kind of savage mindset that makes people say, damn, that dude used to be broken and now he's built different. You know, why? Because I made weakness my workout. I made fear my fuel. I made doubt my dumbbell. Every time my mind said, you ain't good enough, I said, cool, let's fix that. That's what this chapter's about. Not pretending you're flawless, not acting like you're tough 24/7. It's about using your flaws as force. It's about putting the microscope on your soft spots and saying, wow, this is where I build. Because if you only train your strengths, you'll always have limits. But if you train your weaknesses, you'll be limitless. So here's the challenge, Bayam. Today, write down your biggest weakness, the one you hate facing, the one that haunts you when the lights go out. Then ask yourself, what's my plan to crush this? Make it your mission. Make it your obsession. Make it your damn identity. And watch what happens. Your pain becomes pride. Your fear becomes focus. Your weakness becomes weaponry. That's how savages are made. Let me take you back to the most savage place in my house. It wasn't the garage or my weight bench or the road I ran on in the cold. It was my damn bathroom mirror. That thing, that was my war room. That was where the real battles went down. No audience, no music, just me, my reflection, and the raw truth. I called it the accountability mirror. Every night I stood in front of it and told myself the things nobody else had the guts to say. Not with kindness, not with sugar. I looked myself dead in the eye and laid it out. You're fat, you're lazy, you're full of and you're better than this. You know what that did? It woke me up. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Because let's be honest, you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to the mirror. It don't care about your filters, don't care about your followers. It shows you exactly who you are. And if you got the courage to look, that's where transformation starts. Most people avoid the mirror. They can't stand what it shows them. So they hide. They distract themselves. They put on makeup, flex, fake a smile, dim the lights, anything to avoid facing what's real. But not me. I made that mirror my accountability partner, my therapist, my drill sergeant. Every night I'd stare myself down and say, you didn't push hard enough today, or you skipped your run, or you let yourself off the hook. And guess what? That SHT hurt, but that's the point. Growth starts where the excuses end. You don't change your life by getting hyped up once in a while. You change it by facing the truth every damn day. People out here want to grow without being exposed, want to be strong without hurting, Want to level up without facing what's holding them down. But it don't work like that. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. You got to stand in front of that mirror and own every flaw, every failure, every shortcut, every excuse, not to beat yourself up, but to build yourself up. Because once you stop lying, you can start building. Here's how I did it. Every day I'd take a Post-it note and write down the truth. Not what I wanted to hear, not affirmations, the truth. You're overweight, fix it. You're not studying enough, fix it. You quit yesterday, don't you dare do it again. I stuck those notes around the mirror, one by one, like targets, like missions. And every morning and night I'd see them. No escape, no denial, just truth. And I attacked those notes like my life depended on it, because it did. That mirror didn't lie. That mirror held me to a standard higher than any coach ever did, higher than the Navy SEAL instructors, because it knew me, knew my weaknesses, knew my bullshot, and called me on it. That mirror didn't care about my feelings. It cared about results. And over time, those lies I used to tell myself started to die. The voice that used to say, "You can't do this," got drowned out by one that said, "You've done worse and survived." That's the power of accountability, not to anyone else, not to your boss or your spouse or your trainer, to yourself. When you can look in the mirror and say, "I gave it everything today," and actually mean it. That's freedom. That's confidence. That's peace. And when you can't, that mirror becomes a weapon, not to destroy you, but to sharpen you. Look, we all mess up. We all skip a workout. We all eat ashad we shouldn't. We all get lazy. That's human. But when that happens, what you do next is what counts. You hide? You make excuse? You pretend? Or do you walk to that mirror, stare down your failure and say, "We fixin' this tomorrow"? That's the difference. The mirror don't care about what you say. It reflects what you do. You want to be proud of the person looking back at you? Then stop pretending and start performing. Stop talking and start executing. Stop hoping and start building. Because every day, that mirror asks you one question. Did you show up or did you back down? And you better have an answer. If you're scared of the mirror, that's a red flag. That means you're living below your standard. That means you're slacking somewhere. That means you're avoiding truth. And avoidance is the enemy of accountability. But if you lean into it, embrace it, let that reflection challenge you every day, that mirror becomes your best friend. It becomes a scoreboard, a journal, a weapon. So here's your challenge. Tonight, I want you to stand in front of your mirror, alone, no music, no distractions, just you and that reflection. And I want you to speak out loud the truth about who you are and who you ain't. Call yourself out. If you've been slacking, say it. If you've been eating trash, own it. If you've been lying to yourself, confront it. Then write it down, post it, keep it there, and attack it tomorrow. Not next week, not next year, tomorrow. That's how savage self-respect is built. Not through compliments or applause, through truth, through action, through relentless accountability. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, you'll never be strong for anybody else. The mirror don't lie, my friend. And if you use it right, it will set you free. You got two options in this life, real simple. Suffer now or suffer forever. That's it. No third choice, no magic door, no escape route. You either choose controlled pain or you sign up for a lifetime of regret, failure, shame, and what if. See, most people are trying to live soft today, hoping it'll give them peace tomorrow. They avoid discomfort, dodge hard work, numb out, sleep in, eat garbage. They think they're winning by keeping it easy, but guess what? Life don't let you cheat. You dodge suffering now. It don't disappear, it multiplies. It compounds. That 5 minutes of snoozing turns into 5 years of underachievement. That skip-win workout turns into diabetes and depression. That one cheat meal turns into 60 extra pounds and a lost identity. Comfort don't solve your problems. It delays them till they explode in your face. I knew that pain real well. I was the king of delay. I avoided pain like it was the plague. Anything hard, I ducked it. I'd skip workouts, lie to myself, and pretend like I wasn't falling apart. I ate like shit, lived in denial, and acted like I still had time to get it together. Then one day I looked around and realized I was living in the consequences of every comfort I chose. I wasn't just overweight, I was broke. Mentally broken, lost, ashamed of who I'd become. That's the thing about pain. It don't disappear just because you pretend it ain't there. It waits, and when it comes back, it brings friends. Depression, regret, anxiety, addiction, divorce, disease. That's the price of comfort. And once I figured that out, I flipped the whole game. I said, well, fuck it. If I gotta suffer, I'm choosing my suffering. Because if you're gonna bleed either way, you might as well bleed on your own terms. You think it was easy dropping 106 pounds in less than 3 months? Hell no, it was hell. I was running on legs that felt like bricks, starving every day, studying with a foggy brain, training till my body gave out. I was cold, tired, broke, alone, and guess what? I kept going, because I'd already tasted the pain of doing nothing. I knew what it felt like to be a nobody, to feel like I had no control, no dignity, no future, and I hated that pain more than I hated the burn in my lungs. You got to decide what kind of pain you want to live with. Do you want the pain of discipline? The pain of getting up early, pushing through soreness, facing your demons, keeping your word, eating clean, holding yourself to a high standard? Or do you want the pain of regret? The pain of feeling weak, looking in the mirror and hating what you see, knowing you let yourself down over and over again, and having to explain to yourself and the world why you never became what you could have been? Because that pain, that shit don't leave. That's forever pain. And I don't care who you are, rich, poor, black, white, CEO, janitor, you're gonna suffer. But when you suffer with intention, with purpose, you transform. That pain becomes power, that hurt becomes history, that struggle becomes your strength. You become bulletproof. But you can't fake this. You can't wish it. You gotta earn it. You gotta choose suffering on purpose. That means run when you're tired, train when you're sore, study when you're drained, wake up when your body says sleep, push harder when everything in your mind says quit. That's how you flip suffering into fuel. And don't expect nobody to clap for you. There ain't no standing ovation for pushing through the suck. Ain't nobody handing you a trophy for not quitting today. The reward? It's internal. It's the pride you feel when your shirt is drenched in sweat and you know you didn't back down. It's the silence in your mind when your head hits the pillow at night and you can finally sleep, because you know you gave it everything. It's the fire you feel in your chest when you're faced with adversity and you smirk, because you've already been through worse and you came out stronger. That's the reward. But you only get that if you stop running. Stop running from your work. Stop running from your purpose. Stop running from yourself. The world's full of runners, people who spend their whole damn lives avoiding pain. And where do they end up? Overweight, angry, bitter, blaming the world for a life they built on cowardice. Don't be that. Be the one who suffers now so you don't have to later. Be the one who chooses the hard road while everyone else is looking for shortcuts. Be the one who builds resilience while they're building excuses. Because in the end, you either conquer pain or it conquers you. There's no middle ground. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, write down the area of your life where you've been avoiding pain, where you've been taking the easy route. Your health, your relationships, your habits, your finances, your purpose. Now commit to suffering for it. Every damn day, not forever, just long enough to become unrecognizable to your old self. Because once you do that, you'll realize the suffering was never punishment. It was preparation. Let me end this the way I lived it. It's always been you versus you from day one. Since the moment you opened your eyes on this planet, the real fight wasn't against the haters, your ex, the teacher who doubted you, your upbringing, your boss, your pain, your past, or even life itself. The battle's been in the mirror, and the biggest enemy you'll ever face ain't out there in the world. It's you, the soft version, the version that settles, the version that procrastinates, people pleases, hides behind excuses, and hopes one day things will magically change. That version, it's gotta die, and only you can kill it. All this time, you've been looking outward, blaming the system, waiting for the right moment, hoping for motivation, comparing your grind to everybody else's. But let me drop this truth bomb on you. You don't need more inspiration. You don't need more tips, more quotes, more feel-good moments. You need a damn confrontation, you versus you, now. You need to look at the version of you that always lets you off the hook and call that motherfucker out. You say you want to be great. You say you want to lose the weight, start the business, rebuild your soul, fix your habits, grow your confidence. Then why you keep treating yourself like a side project? You give your job 8 hours. You give the internet 6 more. You give your friends, your family, your kids, your boss, your school, your problems, everything. And you give yourself what? Crumbs? Nah, that ends today. You got to become your own #1 priority. Not out of selfishness, but because nobody is coming to do this for you. Nobody's going to rescue you from the pain, the doubt, the weakness you've been drowning in for years. This mission is yours. Your goals don't belong to anybody else. Your future ain't anybody else's job. Your health, your purpose, your greatness, that's your assignment. Every day you wake up with a choice. You can keep playing small, keep watching other people live the life you were born for. Or you can wake up like a savage and say, I got work to do. No more waiting, no more hoping, no more guilt tripping yourself about the past. That version of you is dead. The second you take ownership and say, it's on me now, you bury that old life. And in its place, you build someone powerful, someone resilient, someone who don't need permission, applause, validation, or a crowd to keep going. Someone who does it for themselves every day, rain or shine, tired or not, alone or with a crowd. That's who you become when you stop running from the mirror and start fighting for yourself. And let me tell you, you're worth fighting for. Yeah, I said it. I don't care what they told you. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how many times you failed, quit, cried, relapsed, messed up, or gave in. You're still in the fight. You got a shot, but only if you stop betraying yourself. Stop putting yourself last. Stop living like you got forever to get it right. Because you don't. Time don't wait. Dreams don't wait. The clock is ticking. And while you're sitting on potential, somebody out there is putting in reps, chasing what you say you want, building what you could have had. So what you gonna do? You gonna keep waiting for a better moment? Or you gonna make this moment better? Every savage moment of my journey came down to that one question. What the fuck are you gonna do now, Goggins? And I ask you the same thing. What are you gonna do now? After all the lies you told yourself, after all the pain you have pushed through, after all the starts and stops and almosts, what are you gonna do today that makes you proud of yourself tonight? Because that's where the magic happens. In the small wins, the early wake up, the workout when your body screams no, the study session when your mind begs for distraction, the healthy meal when cravings claw at your willpower, the extra rep, the extra mile, the hard conversation, the disciplined no, the unapologetic yes. That's where the beast is built. Not in motivation, not in hype, but in repeated choices stacked over days, weeks, months, until the person you used to be can't even recognize the savage you've become. And guess what? That version of you, the one you're dreaming about, the confident, driven, healthy, focused, powerful, peaceful version. They already exist, but they're locked inside the weak version, buried under every excuse, every doubt, every shortcut, every time you chose comfort instead of work. You want to meet them? Then show up for them. Every damn day. This ain't a motivational speech. This is a mission statement. It's you versus you. And I promise you this, if you show up with everything you've got every single day, that weak version of you doesn't stand a chance. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your discipline. Don't ask how you feel. Ask what you need to do. Don't wish for easy. Beg for hard, because hard is where the transformation lives. Then go do it. And when it hurts, smile, because that's the sound of your old self dying and your savage self being born. Let the world sleep. Let the world doubt. Let the world watch. You're locked in. You're all in. Because it's no longer about motivation. It's about self-respect. It's about doing the hard shit because you owe it to yourself. Every rep, every mile, every day. No excuses, no shortcuts, just you versus you. Now go to war.